All right, so we made it to day 11. Halfway, right? At least that's what I think. Anyhow, we got a lot to go over, so let's just jump right into it. This morning I had keto coffee. Can you believe that? Because you should have that every morning. Just have it every morning. It's part of your day, your keto coffee. Kind of like if you start your day with coffee every day. It's the same thing, right? Had 1.5 slices of bacon and 2 eggs. Nothing fancy. I figure we'll eventually make a couple other things for breakfast, like maybe keto pancakes. But with that being said, just hold on to that thought as far as keto pancakes go, because we're going to talk about the sweets that I made today, and it's going to fall under the same category. For lunch, I had those beef sausages. I'm sure. I don't know if your family made it, but my mom made sauerkraut and weenies a lot, but it wasn't like the hot dog weenies. It was this type of sausage. Anyway, it's an old recipe, to say the very least. I basically put some butter in a pan. I cut up about 1/4 of a yellow onion into little pieces, sauteed those, and then I put the sausages in there and cooked them. And in a separate pan, I cooked the sauerkraut. I actually just warmed it up in a pan. That was all I did. And then I just put it all together. Also had a couple of those little rectangle pieces of cheese. It's the same thing as the long ones. I just alternate in between them. My kids eat them too. So nothing super special for lunch. It's just an easy thing to make. But let's jump back to the sauerkraut thing. You might not like sauerkraut. I don't eat it a whole lot, but man, it is so good for your gut bacteria. So if you're having stomach problems, you might consider having some of that, or some kimchi. I think there's some other things, maybe cabbage. I'm not really sure, but I know kimchi and sauerkraut can definitely help, your gut bacteria and help fix those problems. I've never remembered that when my stomach hurt. I always just blamed it on something stupid I did. So I just eat it every once in a while. I buy the jars of it. That way I can just get as much as I want, because I'm pretty sure that stuff can't go bad, because it pretty much already is bad. It's fermented. Anyway, let's jump into the sweets I made. Alright, so the no-bake cookies were extremely easy to make. You basically just take everything, pour it in one bowl, mix it up really well, and that's all you really have to do. I can't remember what the website said 100%, but I do this with anything that I'm making, especially cookies. I mix everything up and then I pour it into a Ziploc bag and I roll it up and just like make a cylinder thing with the mix, and then roll up the bag and put it in the freezer for about 10 to 20 minutes. That way, when I cut it in half, I can try to make it as even as possible, and it just works out better like that. I don't know if everyone does that, but even if I was just making cookies from scratch, like regular cookies, I would do this same process. So highly suggest doing that. I made the lava cake for the first time. I did not make it the way I should have made it. It just, it's like the first time making it. Plus, I didn't want to put everything in the same. I didn't want to make just one, because there's no way I was going to eat that much. Like, that was huge. I mean, after I made, so you can see I took the little muffin cups there and I actually made 4 out of it. I definitely used that butter spray. I don't know if it's the greatest thing ever, but it keeps things from sticking to those cups. So I did use that butter spray on there to keep them from sticking. As you can see, I did not do this the way you're supposed to. Actually just put a teaspoon of peanut butter in each one of those and then cover the top a little bit. It was mainly the taste that I was going for. I didn't need it to like lava effect out of there, because I mean, I'm not going to eat all 4 in one setting. So anyhow, the cookies, I did half of what they said online. Getting a half of an egg was challenging. I didn't think about that. Like, oh wow, it's going to be really hard to get precisely a half of an egg, so good luck with that. And I honestly think I might have put 2 servings of baking powder in that. I went back and looked at the videos and was like, I'm pretty sure that I put double servings of baking powder in there, but it's fine. It's not that big a deal. As you can see, I burned the cookies because my oven totally sucks, and I guess I'm not good at cooking cookies. I baked them for 15 minutes at 350 degrees. I probably should have just went with 10 minutes and they'd probably been fine. We may make them again, but that brings me to the topic of this actual video. And it comes with like you making dinners, like keto pizza, or like some extravagant dinner, or like things that are so close to something that you can't have, like making noodles out of certain things, or using certain things that are noodle-like or bread-like. But specifically with these sweets try to make the fiber tries to justify the carbohydrates. And I'm not one of these people who think that, oh, I had 9 grams of fiber, so that means that's negative 9 grams off of carbohydrates. You ate those carbs, right? Right? You ate them. Like, your body just doesn't make it disappear. I don't believe that whole fiber negates carbs. I just don't believe in it. And if it works for you, then by all means do it. Like, if you need to make these cookies and have a couple of them a day, then, I mean, just do it. I mean, it's all about longevity, trying to stay on this diet. If you want to make these crazy different sweets and then say, oh, I know it's, 10 carbs, but 9 of those carbs are fiber. Do whatever you would like. I personally try to stay away from it, because the thing is if you make something sweet and it's good, what's the chances of you eating more than you should? Instead of just one cookie, you eat, 7 of them. And then, you look at your carbs at the end of the day and they're like at 70, and then you're like, oh, but the fiber, see where I'm getting at? It could easily, slide into that slope. Plus, anytime I eat something like that, it makes me hungrier. And I think that kind of happened because after lunch, I had that one of those lava cake things right after my lunch, and I felt like I was hungry all day. So for a snack, I did 2 pieces of cheese, and I also did one of those no-bake cookie ones. Those were awesome. The macros on those no-bake cookies are really good, and it tasted really good. I'm actually probably going to make more of those. I might throw some nuts in it a little bit just to have a little bit crunchier taste with it. But out of the 3 I made today, the only one I will personally ever make again is probably the no-bake, just because, again, I looked at the carbs on there and I wasn't impressed. Sorry. I mean, I wish it was better. It's kind of, I always judge things to my peanut butter fat bombs. Like, everything in there, the protein, the carbs, the fat, everything's ratio is so good that you could have a handful of those peanut butter fat bombs that I make, and it's guilt-free. I could eat 10 of them and I'm not going to be worried about it. So that's kind of where I want you to lean onto. I know I see so much stuff online about keto and these extravagant meals, and I'm just thinking, man, those look so good, but everybody uses that fiber to back them out of it. Now, if you've been doing keto for a long time and you're trying to find some new stuff to keep you on keto, then do it. Then do it. Just be in mind that just because it has fiber and you can technically negate that, I don't know. Believe what you want to believe. Whatever works for you works for me as well. I just don't eat a whole bunch of sweets, and the shelf life ain't really long on them. So then again, you feel like you need to eat them. Therefore, you're forcing yourself to eat something that is borderline. Should you have it? Should you not? Anyway, let's get to dinner. Dinner had salmon. It was amazing. I actually, on the piece I had, I put some habanero wing mix. I think I may have mentioned that before. Maybe even showed the package. I don't know. I'll show a package if y'all want to see what it looked like. It was just something I bought at Walmart. By the way, most of the ingredients I use today, you can buy everything at Walmart. My Walmart has Swerve, so you can get that. And used to, you could only buy erythritol or erythritol, however you want to say it. You could only buy that online, and it was some crazy looking package and stuff, and you just had to trust what they were saying. But I still think stevia is the best sweetener, health-wise to eat, but we can talk about that another day. Again, the salmon I had, it was about 6 ounces. Salad, I had a bunch of my vegetables were going bad, so I wanted to eat as much of them as I could, and that celery, I had to get rid of that, and also had some little, baby carrots that the kids eat that I don't know how long they've been in there, but it was one of those things that they probably need to get ate. So I chopped up carrots, celery, I put bacon bits on there, I put shredded cheese, ranch, and I put some mushrooms on top of there too. That salad was actually really good. It was super crunchy, and I think I'm not used to eating crunchy stuff with this diet, so I enjoyed it a lot. So carrots, you're probably thinking, well, you should be eating carrots on keto. Think about what carbs you're getting out of them. I ate 22 grams of those carrots. It comes out to be 2 grams. That's not a big deal. That's really not a big deal. So if you want to have carrots, eat carrots. Doesn't matter. You want to eat green beans, eat green beans. I just highly suggest you try not to eat stuff that isn't a can. I mean, you should know that as an adult, knowing that you shouldn't be eating stuff out of cans anyway. I mean, I get it. We got to preserve stuff, and in a dire crisis, that's a good thing to have. But either way, if you can get fresh foods, you need to be eating fresh foods. Which brings me to a point. I'm probably going to have some broccoli tomorrow that you put in a steamer bag, and I was going to see what you guys feel about steaming vegetable bags like that's been flash frozen. Does it cause cancer? I don't know. Does the microwave? I don't know. But anyway, I did finish off that Gatorade Zero I had. It's probably about 10 ounces left, something like that. I went ahead and finished that out because I didn't want to get flat or whatever. Of course, it's Gatorade, so it tasted exactly the same. Let's get back to our nutrition today. So we had 113 grams of protein. We had 42 carbs. Technically, we had 20 grams of fiber. So if I'm counting the net, I had 22. I still count it as 42. So tomorrow I will make sure and watch all of my carbs. I will try to make them as low as possible. For the fat, we had 193 grams, which is good. I'm super happy about that one. And then our percentages did not look bad, to be honest with you. Our carbs were at 7%. We're still under that 10% mark. Our fats were at 74%, and our protein was at 19%. So those are decent numbers. They're fine. Again, man, don't keep racking your carbs up there and then worrying, counting it and saying, oh, well, I had 20. Just saying, I keep beating a dead horse or whatever. I apologize. I want you to understand that, count them carbs you're eating. Don't pretend that you didn't eat them because you did, Our calorie count at the end of the day was 2,317. That's decent numbers for me. I kind of was at the house all day and didn't do much, so I try to stay under 2,000 when I'm not doing something, but it's cool. First day at the gym. Tomorrow is my actual workout routines that I do since I'm back into the gym. So I didn't work out for 2 weeks, and then last week was trying to just get back in the gym, getting that soreness out of my body. So I'll actually do my real workouts starting tomorrow. So the people who have asked me that are interested in the workouts I do, write me on this video and let me know you want them, and I'll get them to you. I don't really want to make a video about it because I don't know that enough people are interested in the workouts I do, so I rather send you the information. But anyway, I've rambled on forever. I've redone like 10 different things in this video because I'm terrible at talking, and apparently I can't read from my own writing on a board, but I need to do something different, I guess. Get a teleprompter. I'm just kidding. I don't have money for that. Anyway, until tomorrow, keep it keto.